This fanfiction is only for entertainment purposes, so please don't take it seriously and don't be offended. It's just a story made out of imagination, so it doesn't define any character in real life. I hope you'll enjoy the story and leave positive comments without hating the author and character. I don't own any pictures, but the storylines are completely mine. I will do voiceover so you can mute it if you want. Hope you will like the video.
Y/N crossed her fingers while closing her eyes as she prayed for something desperately. She kept murmuring something when suddenly her eyes caught the trending news on her phone, making her eyes widened. Before she can even react, a pair of hands wrapped around her waist, making her breath hitched. She turned her face only to saw her arranged enemy husband, Kimtaehyung, smirking at her. He showed her the trophy in his hand, making her bite her lower lip in frustration as she looked away while he pecked on her neck, sending shivers down her spine. Taehyung, remember the deal, Jeon. If I win the Best Businessman of the Year award, then you will fulfill my one wish. Y/N, yeah. Yeah. Whatever. She says, trying to free herself from his grip, but he didn't left her. Instead he tightened his grip around her waist. Taehyung, so I want you to. He says while intentionally breathing near her skin, making her feel goosebumps. Taehyung, actually I dare you to do everything I say for the next 24 hours. He says while she bite her lower lip to control herself, then spoke in a low voice. Y/N, it's cheating. I only agree to fulfill one of your wish. Taehyung, yeah, and I just tell you my wish, Jeon. What? Already scared? I see my Jeon is really a scared kitten. I get it, Jeon. Y/N, don't you dare call me that. You know what, just say it. I will do everything you say for next 24 hours. Taehyung, smirk, alright. Then how about we start with a full body massage? Go, Jeon, bring the hot oil, and then massage me with your hands. I am already feeling good just by thinking about it. Y/N, define hot. Relaxing hot or call the ambulance hot? Taehyung smirked, then said on her neck multiple times before stating. Taehyung, just how you want it, Jeon. Y/N, smirk, alright, then dial the ambulance number because you are soon going to need it. She says, finally pushing him away, and walked towards the kitchen while he smirked and walked towards his bedroom, impatiently waiting for her. It's only been 1 month of their arranged marriage, yet he's enjoying it way too much than he should. Even though they are using separate room right now, still the dynamics in this house never ends. She enters his room for the first time after marriage. She narrows her eyes after seeing him laying on bed shirtless. It's only been 8 p.m. and the game just starts now. She have to endure this shameless and limitless man demands for the next 24 hours. She looked around only for her eyes widened as she looked at the ceiling. She remembers the last time she came before marriage, it was like a normal ceiling with a white color and cute design. But now the only thing she could see is a glass ceiling. His reflection and her own reflection was staring back at her. He was lying on his stomach on bed, smirking like he was already imagining her reaction. She looked down immediately while her cheek flushed. She moves towards the bed, sat beside him on bed. Y/N, when did you change the ceiling with the mirror? Taehyung, smirk, on our marriage day, but it didn't come to use till now because of you. Wants me to make a use of it? She didn't reply, just pour the hot oil on his back, making him hiss in pain while arching his back. Y/N, what? Didn't expect me to really made it this hot? Taehyung, smirk, no, I just didn't expect it to feel this good. Now my expectations for your hands has increased. She bite her inner cheek while gently letting her hand roam over his back, massaging him softly. He looked at her while she massaged his back softly. He intentionally let out some noises, mo at ns and grow at ns, making her ear and cheek flushed as she didn't dare look at him. Then suddenly he flipped himself and now he was laying on her back, making her flinch. Y/N, well what? Taehyung, well I need massage here too. he says while placing her hands on his chest, making her breath hitch as he kept staring at her. She felt strange and wanted to pull her hands away when suddenly he grabbed her waist and in a swift motion, he pulled her on himself. Now she was sitting on his stomach and her eyes widened. Taehyung, now this is comfortable, John. Carry on. He says while playing with a strand of her hair. She knows he's not leaving her easily, that's why she start massaging his chest while looking down. Not even by mistake she let her eyes met his while he kept staring at her intensely. Taehyung, truth or dare? Y/N, huh? Taehyung, truth or dare? Y/N, Truth? Taehyung, what problem do you have sleeping on the same bed with me, John? Y/N, stunned, dare. Taehyung, then let's sleep on the same bed tonight. He say suddenly flipping her, caughting her completely off guard. Now he was hovering her while she was laying under him. His knuckles strokes her flushed cheek as she gulped while he smirked. Y/N, don't joke, Taehyung. Taehyung, gladly, I am not joking. He say then leaned closer making her shut her eyes tightly while gripping his shoulder. He smirked as he leaned towards her ear and say in his deep voice. Taehyung, tonight you are gonna sleep with me on this very bed while wearing whatever I wanted you to. Or maybe without anything. He says making her heart hammered in her chest. She didn't even know how to react when he suddenly get up and pick her up in his arms then took her to his changing room. Her eyes widened as soon as they entered the changing room. He let her down but her leg feels so weak that she was still holding him for support but her eyes stays at that area of the room which was filled with injuries. Y/N, in mind, why does he have so many of these injuries? He smirked seeing her reaction as carefully put his hand under her top on her waist bringing her back to her senses and she turned her face around to look at him. Taehyung, mischievous smile, impress? Now you are gonna choose from them. I know whatever you will wear will look good on you. Or even if you come without anything then too you will look gorgeous, John. He says in his husky voice making her look away while biting her lower lip. He's not leaving a single moment to tease her tonight. Then his thumb traces her lips as he spoke. Taehyung, and don't you worry about size. Because they all are exactly your size, John. Y/N, shock, how did you know my size? Taehyung, smirk, you really want the answer of this question, John? She pushed him away finally at his teasing while he smirked. Then left making her finally fall down on her knees as she saw those injuries again and can't help but feel butterflies in her stomach. She knew that even if she don't change and just go out in whatever she's wearing then too, he will leave her with just teasing. She knew he isn't gonna do anything that she didn't give him permission for. Still her hand extended towards those injuries. Her eyes checking it out to decide which one to wear. Taehyung already set the mood. The lights were off while in the big TV something was ready to be played. He was sitting on his bed when the door opened. She entered in the room while looking down when his eyes caught her figure. His breath hitched as he saw her. He never expected her to wear them. Especially that one. Because it was the most H0 test of them all. He signaled her to come closer and she come. Then when she reached near bed, he pulled her on bed. Making her sit between his legs while he hugged her from behind. He said behind her ear making her squirm in his embrace. Her back was attached to his front as she closes her eyes. Taehyung, you should come with a warning label, John. I'm trying to be decent, but you're making it very difficult. He says breathing out on her neck making her wrap her arm around his hands which were wrapped around her waist. Taehyung, let's try to watch a movie, okay? He says then start the movie. Just 15 minutes passes and it was the second making out scene, this time in more detail. Making her bite her lower lip. She can feel his one hand on her inner thigh, sing it but she didn't stop him. She was too lost in the moment and the wanted euro at shore. Taehyung, why does it feel like that tension's building up in your body? Want me to release it, John? he says, and she let out a soft voice that even she didn't know she can. She turned her face around only to find him looking at her in shock. He really didn't expect this reaction from her, especially for himself. Her eyes wander on his lips and a sudden urge to claim them ran deep into her veins. She leaned forward while closing her eyes, but suddenly he pulled away, making her shock and disappointment. Taehyung, don't. Don't do it if it's just a moment of heat. Don't do it if you don't meant it later. Don't do it if you are gonna regret. She cut him off while crashing her lips on his lips. His eyes shut as the final restraint to his control break. She hungrily moves her lips on his, and with the same passion he sees her back. Suddenly she felt something getting bigger with each passing seconds, something poking on her butt. She smirked, realizing that he's finally aroused, but that too with just a single kiss of her. She turned herself around in his arms, now their chest touching, as she wrapped her legs around his waist without breaking the kiss. As she moves on his part again and again, Taehyung got the hint that she really wants it, and that's it. He suddenly grabbed her waist, pulling her more closer than anyone ever could, and she opened her eyes when the morning light hit on her face. She looked around only to find herself alone in the room. She get disappointed seeing that how he left her early in the morning after getting what he wants. Her tears fall one after another as she realized that what her friends say was truth. A man's only attracted to your body until he finally have it. Once he get it, he didn't care about you anymore. She shut her eyes as tears fall down her eyes, realizing that she lost her worth. She was so lost in her own pain that she didn't realize when did the door open and someone enter with the food. Her naked body was covered with a duvet. He put the plate on the side table, then lay behind her on bed. His hand wrapped around her waist when he finally saw her crying, making his heart ache. Taehyung, what happened, John? His words brought her back to her senses as she looked at him, who's looking at her with concern. But then suddenly his face turned pale as he asked. Taehyung, do you regret it? He asked hesitantly, but in the very next moment she wrapped her hands around his waist and clung to him, finally bursting into crying. He patted her back with fear in his heart. He didn't say a single word until she finally calmed down and looked at him, sulking. Taehyung, if you want, then I will leave. He wasn't even able to complete his sentence when she crashed her LPS on his, making him close his eyes, realizing that wasn't the reason. He returned the same passion she gave to him. His hand wrapped around her waist as he pulled her on himself. When she finally pulled away panting, she looked at him and smirked. Her marks on his neck were clearly visible to him. Taehyung, so now tell me what happened? He asked, caressing her cheek while looking at her. Why/n, nothing. I just remembered that how bad you are at it and started crying, remembering that I have to spend my entire life with a man who can't even make me satisfied. She said teasingly while he looked at her, being fake offended. Taehyung, seriously, John? You hate it when I do mercy on you, didn't you? Alright then. This time no mercy. Come, let's have a shower together. This time I will wash you and make you unable to walk. You really woke up the devil inside me. She smirked internally but reacted unfazed at him while he picked her up and walked towards the washroom, making her giggle as she clung to him more, knowing that this man will never leave her. The end.